In the shadows of history, some stories remain untold, hidden beneath layers of fear and silence. This chilling sentiment encapsulates the dark reality of Serbia's human slaughterhouse, a harrowing chapter marked by unimaginable brutality. As we delve into this grim narrative, we uncover the truths that haunt a nation, revealing the depths of human depravity and the resilience of those who seek justice amidst the horror. Historical context of the conflict in Serbia. The historical context of the conflict in Serbia is deeply rooted in the disintegration of Yugoslavia during the 1990s, a period marked by rising nationalism and ethnic tensions as various republics sought independence, notably Slovenia and Croatia. Violent confrontations erupted, leading to widespread chaos. The Kosovo War was particularly significant, as it involved a brutal crackdown on ethnic Albanians by Serbian forces under the leadership of Slobodan Milosevic. This conflict resulted in horrific atrocities, including mass killings and the displacement of nearly 900,000 refugees, many of whom fled to neighbouring countries. The international community intervened through NATO airstrikes aimed at curbing Serbian aggression and restoring peace in the region. Following the war, Kosovo declared independence in 2008, a move that Serbia vehemently opposed, further complicating its relations with ethnic Albanians and other neighbouring states. The aftermath of these events left a legacy of unresolved grievances and ongoing ethnic tensions, which continue to influence Serbia's political landscape today. As the nation grapples with its past, it faces challenges in fostering reconciliation while navigating its aspirations for integration into European structures. The rise of organised crime in Serbia. The rise of organised crime in Serbia can be traced back to the chaos following the Yugoslav wars, which dismantled state structures and created fertile ground for criminal enterprises to thrive. With economic instability rampant, various factions emerged, often linked to political figures or former military leaders who exploited the vacuum of power. These criminal networks became involved in drug trafficking, human trafficking, and arms smuggling, establishing a pervasive presence across the country. High-profile assassinations and violent turf wars became commonplace as these groups competed for control over lucrative markets. Notably, the assassination of prominent crime figures underscored the pervasive influence of organised crime within Serbian society and its entanglement with political corruption. Furthermore, Serbia's strategic location along major trafficking routes facilitated the growth of these syndicates, making it a hub for illicit activities. Although the government has made efforts to combat organised crime through reforms and international cooperation, challenges remain significant. Corruption within law enforcement continues to undermine public trust and complicate Serbia's aspirations for European Union membership, highlighting the need for comprehensive reform. The Discovery of the Slaughterhouse. The discovery of the human slaughterhouse in Serbia emerged from extensive investigative efforts aimed at uncovering hidden atrocities committed during the Kosovo War. Reports began surfacing in the early 2000s about mass graves and illegal operations where victims were brutally murdered and their bodies disposed of without regard for dignity or humanity. A significant breakthrough occurred in 2014 when authorities unearthed evidence linking organised crime groups to these heinous acts. Wait a second, have you ever considered how organised crime can infiltrate a society so deeply? What do you think are the consequences of such corruption? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Investigations revealed that some victims were subjected to horrific conditions before their deaths, often executed in clandestine facilities resembling slaughterhouses. This shocking revelation prompted an international outcry and renewed calls for accountability regarding war crimes committed during this dark period. Human rights organisations played a crucial role in documenting these findings, pushing for justice on behalf of victims' families who had long suffered in silence. The discovery not only highlighted the extent of brutality, but also exposed deep-seated corruption within local law enforcement that allowed such atrocities to persist unchecked for years. Details of the crimes committed. The crimes committed within Serbia's human slaughterhouse are among the most horrific manifestations of violence during the Kosovo War. Victims included both civilians and combatants who were subjected to systematic torture, execution, and mutilation, acts that reflect an alarming disregard for human life. Eyewitness accounts describe scenes filled with unimaginable brutality, where individuals were often held captive before being killed en masse. Many victims were specifically targeted based on their ethnicity or political affiliations, revealing a broader agenda of ethnic cleansing pursued by certain factions during this tumultuous period. Reports indicate that bodies were disposed of in mass graves or incinerated to eliminate evidence of these crimes, complicating efforts for accountability later on. Furthermore, some victims were reportedly trafficked for organ harvesting, adding another layer of horror to these already egregious acts. Investigative journalists and human rights advocates have worked tirelessly to document these atrocities. Their efforts ensure that such heinous actions are not forgotten while advocating for justice on behalf of those affected by this dark chapter in Serbian history. The role of technology in documenting crimes. Technology has played a transformative role in documenting crimes related to Serbia's human slaughterhouse, enabling investigators and activists to gather critical evidence while raising awareness on an international scale. Digital tools such as satellite imagery have been utilized effectively to locate mass graves previously hidden from view. This technology provides undeniable proof of atrocities committed during the Kosovo War. Additionally, social media platforms have facilitated real-time reporting from witnesses on the ground, allowing narratives from survivors to reach global audiences swiftly and effectively, mobilizing support for justice initiatives. Forensic technology has also advanced significantly. DNA analysis is now employed to identify victims from remains found at various sites across Serbia and Kosovo. This scientific approach aids legal proceedings immensely. Furthermore, documentary films and investigative journalism have harnessed multimedia storytelling techniques to convey these harrowing accounts effectively while engaging audiences emotionally. Hold on a second. What do you believe is the role of technology in exposing hidden atrocities? Can it truly make a difference in seeking justice? Share your insights with us. Victims and their stories. The victims of Serbia's human slaughterhouse represent a haunting narrative of brutality and despair. Many were individuals caught in the crossfire of gang rivalries or targeted for their ethnic backgrounds. For instance, one victim, lured under the pretense of friendship, was brutally executed and dismembered by the notorious Belivuk gang. Eyewitness accounts reveal that victims endured horrific torture before their deaths, often being subjected to dehumanizing acts that stripped them of their dignity. Families of the victims have shared their anguish, recounting the pain of losing loved ones to such senseless violence. The stories of these individuals are not merely statistics, they reflect the human cost of organized crime in Serbia. Each victim had dreams, aspirations, and relationships that were shattered by these heinous acts. The emotional toll on families left behind is profound, as many continue to seek justice and answers about the fate of their loved ones. Activists and human rights organizations strive to ensure that these stories are told, emphasizing the need for accountability and remembrance in a society grappling with its dark past. Law enforcement response and investigations. The law enforcement response to the atrocities committed in Serbia's human slaughterhouse has been a complex interplay between investigation and systemic corruption. Following the discovery of the slaughterhouse in 2021, Serbian authorities launched extensive investigations into the criminal activities of the Belivuk gang. The police uncovered an array of evidence, including photographs taken by gang members during their gruesome acts, which were shared via encrypted communication channels. This technological oversight ultimately aided law enforcement in piecing together the operations of this brutal organization. However, challenges persisted due to long-standing allegations of collusion between organized crime and certain elements within law enforcement. Critics argue that this corruption has hindered effective policing and accountability for past crimes. In response to public outcry, authorities have pledged to dismantle organized crime networks and restore faith in the justice system. Connections to political figures and corruption. The connections between organised crime groups like the Belivuk gang and political figures in Serbia reveal a troubling landscape marked by corruption and complicity. Investigative reports have suggested that some members of government have historically provided protection or turned a blind eye to criminal activities in exchange for political support or financial gain. The Belivuk gang, which masqueraded as a soccer fan club, allegedly enjoyed significant backing from influential political figures, allowing their operations to flourish without fear of repercussions. This entanglement raises serious questions about the integrity of Serbia's political institutions and their ability to combat organised crime effectively. Just a moment, how do you feel about the responsibility of the media in covering these sensitive topics? Should they focus more on victim stories or the sensational aspects of crime? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Furthermore, high-profile arrests within the gang have revealed intricate networks that extend into various sectors of society, complicating efforts to address corruption at its roots. As public awareness grows regarding these connections, there is increasing pressure on government officials to take decisive action against organised crime while simultaneously restoring public trust in governance. The implications for Serbia's political landscape are profound, as citizens demand accountability and transparency from their leaders. Impact on Serbian society and future implications. The impact of Serbia's human slaughterhouse extends far beyond individual tragedies. It has profound implications for societal cohesion and trust in institutions. The brutal nature of these crimes has left an indelible mark on public consciousness, fostering fear and skepticism towards both law enforcement and political leaders perceived as complicit with organised crime. This erosion of trust poses significant challenges for social stability as citizens grapple with feelings of vulnerability in their communities. Furthermore, ongoing revelations about corruption within governmental structures may hinder Serbia's aspirations for European Union membership, as adherence to rule of law principles is scrutinised by international observers. In light of these challenges, there is an urgent need for comprehensive reform aimed at dismantling entrenched criminal networks while promoting transparency within public institutions. The path forward requires not only addressing past injustices, but also fostering a culture that prioritises human rights and accountability over impunity. As Serbia navigates this complex landscape, it faces an opportunity to reshape its future, one where justice prevails over violence and corruption is actively challenged at every level. Let me know your thoughts below. How can society work towards healing and rebuilding trust after such horrific events? Share your insights with us. They serve as a stark warning against the depths of human cruelty and the need for vigilance in protecting human rights. Let us honour the victims by ensuring their stories are never forgotten, and strive for a future where such atrocities can never happen again. Thank you for joining us, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more videos.